All right, here we go. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the People's Commencement. So happy to be here with you all today. My name is Dr. Andrea Herrera. I know many of you already. I'm an adjunct professor of women's gender, sexuality studies, and sociology here at the Missouri State University and Texas A&M Corpus Christi. But more importantly, I'm a community member here in Eugene and in the world, and I know that liberation for queer and trans people like me in Eugene is inextricably linked to liberation for the people in Palestine. So that's part of why I'm here today. I'm also here today to support y'all and to celebrate our wonderful U of O Popular University for Palestine, class of 2024. As well as all of the many students who participated in or supported the UO Popular University for Palestine encampment and the movement for Palestine this past year. Thanks to Allison for providing the beautiful prelude and postlude music, and a huge thank you to those who contributed to the People's Commencement Fund for supplies and refreshments. If you are able, please consider contributing to the People's Commencement Fund, which will remain open until tomorrow at midnight. Donations can be sent via Venmo to UOFSJP, and any unused funds will be sent to the Center for Arab American Philanthropy's Gaza Scholarship Fund for displaced students. You can also donate to this fund directly at the link on the back page of your program. The first part of our program today is a moment of silence and solidarity. I'd like to recognize the 12 chairs, the 12 empty chairs we have up here at the front, representing the 12 destroyed universities in Gaza. All 12 universities, 100% of universities in Gaza have been damaged or destroyed. United Nations experts have expressed grave concern regarding the systemic destruction of the Palestinian education system, which is also known as scholasticide. As we celebrate the People's Commencement today, we mourn, remember, and stand in solidarity with the hundreds of Palestinian faculty, staff, and students who have been killed by Israel with support from the United States. The students who will never graduate or have the opportunity to participate in commencement activities. In our rage and grief, we commit ourselves to continuing the struggle for Palestinian human rights, justice, and liberation. So please join me in a moment of silence in memory of the victims of scholasticide in Gaza. Thank you for that. As we turn our grief into a collective commitment to justice, we would like to invite the Community Ceasefire Choir to lead us all in a musical number.
Hi, it is our honor to be here as the community standing here with you and behind you, the Popular University for Palestine class of 2024. We're so proud of you. Thank you for standing up for what's right. So we're gonna sing a song for you here. It's called Ceasefire by Adrian Brown, and we're hoping that you all will sing with us. So I'm gonna just do a really quick teach of the song, and then we'll continue with it. And yeah, please join in. I bet a lot of you know this song already. So I'm gonna lead in with words, and then you'll follow the words. It will make sense. So start out. I'm gonna separate you into 3 sections. So here, this way, you're gonna be the low section just for teaching, and then this table right in front, you'll be the mid section, the melody line, for teaching, and then over here, you'll sing the high part for teaching. And once we've taught the parts and you've heard it all, please just jump to whichever part that feels best for you. So let's start with the middle section. What we're going to do is sing this, I'll sing it, and you can follow me. We'll do it again. So, we breathe together. We breathe together. We breathe together. Stop the occupation.
We breathe together. We breathe together. We breathe together. Stop the occupation.
Sing that again, add the loads. We breathe together. Keep singing the melody.
We breathe together.
We breathe together. Stop the occupation.
Together. Stop the occupation.
Do it again. You got it?
We breathe together. We breathe together. We breathe together. Stop the occupation.
Highs.
We breathe together. We breathe together. We breathe together. Stop the occupation.
Do it one more time together.
We breathe together. We breathe together. We breathe together. Stop the occupation.
We march, we march.
We march together. We march together. We march together. Stop the occupation.
We grieve, we grieve.
We grieve together. We grieve together. We grieve together. Stop the occupation.
We strike.
We strive together. We strive together. We strive together. Stop the occupation.
Ceasefire.
Ceasefire. Ceasefire. Ceasefire. Stop the occupation. Ceasefire. 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 Stop the occupation.
We breathe, we breathe.
We breathe together. We breathe together. We breathe together. Stop the occupation.
Free Palestine.
Free Palestine. Free Palestine. Free Palestine. Stop the occupation.
Free Palestine.
Free Palestine. Free Palestine. Free Palestine. Stop the occupation.
Ceasefire.
Ceasefire. Ceasefire. Ceasefire. Stop the occupation.
Ceasefire.
Ceasefire. Ceasefire. Ceasefire. Stop the occupation.
Free Palestine.
Free Palestine. Free Palestine. Free Palestine. Stop the occupation.
Free Palestine.
Free Palestine. Free Palestine. Free Palestine. Stop the occupation.
Ceasefire.
Ceasefire. Ceasefire. Ceasefire. Stop the occupation. Ceasefire, 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 stop the occupation.
Wow, thank you so much, Miriam. Excuse me. Thank you so much to the Ceasefire Choir. We are now pleased to hear from our 3 faculty and staff commencement speakers, Dr. Miriam Turley-Schultz, Cynthia Islam, and Dr. Leilani Sebzalian. Please join me in welcoming Miriam, and then we'll see the next 2 speakers. Welcome, Miriam.
Thank you so much, Andrea, and thank you to everyone who made this People Commencement happen. My name is Miriam. I'm an assistant professor here and also the Moken Fellow of Holocaust Studies. I don't have a gown and I don't have a hat. I'm very new to this school. And I'm too embarrassed to wear my Columbia stuff, so I thought I'd just come in my normal clothes. Today I want to talk about pride. It is Pride Month after all. As a lesbian, I'm so proud to deliver one of the commencement addresses for our incredible student body of the UO Popular University for Palestine class of 2024. I'm so proud of what you've achieved so far and will be achieving as you leave UO and continue your activism elsewhere. Supporting Palestinian liberation is part of the struggle for freedom for all queer people, and it has been part of that struggle for a century. When preparing this speech, my wife reminded me of American Jewish butch lesbian trans activist and writer Leslie Feinberg. Their incredible novel, Drag Queen Dreams, tells the story of aging genderqueer trans man Max Rabinowitz, a descendant of socialist activist of Yiddish-speaking working class in New York City. The novel speaks to the isolation and hopelessness felt in the early days of the war on terror and offers a radical hope to fight back. Max's imagined dialogue with their aunt, Raisa, shall remind us that we are all indeed part of a long tradition. I quote, "Leb, lion," Raisa's voice nudges me in the darkness of my bedroom. "Always remember, meine Teile, if you don't fight against the war will still come to find you." "Raisa," I whisper, "there's no union, there are no strikes. I'm alone, just me and a few friends. We have no power. You didn't live to see this. We are so small, and they are so big." I remember how she'd smooth my hair with her hand as she asked me again and again, "Who does all the work of the world every day, Tyre?" "We do." "Who built it all?" "We did." "Who owns it all?" "They do." "So that's what has to change," she smiles. "Nothing goes back in time, labeler, only forward." "What does that mean?" She shrugs. "You are so big, and they are so small, meine Teile. It's time to take it over." "But how?" "Wenn alle Menschen sollen ziehen auf ein Seite, if everyone pulled in one direction," I already know what she's going to say, "wollt sich die Welt übergekehrt, the whole world would turn over." How long? Wie lang? When it comes fast. It all snaps forward like a rubber band. All of us who raised you, who are working for that day, don't worry, Leibele. Just as you will awaken, our sleeping giant will wake to its power and rise. With Razor's words in mind, I want you to remember why the resistance to this movement is so immense. They are afraid of us, of our power, and rightly so. We are enacting queer desires and have generations to fall back on to remake the world. You are showing everyone a vision of a future that is not easily imaginable. Liberation for Palestinians, for Jews, for each one of us, is intertwined with the liberation of all oppressed people. Working in radical solidarity towards this end is indeed the beginning of a new world. Soll leben Palästina. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Can you all hear me fine? My name is Cynthia Islam. I'm an academic advisor and a proud member of University of Oregon faculty and staff for Justice in Palestine. I am so honored to be here sharing in celebration tonight. I feel especially connected to this group, to your passion and goals. My country, Bangladesh, endured a genocide in 1971, and the US government actively supported it. And that is why you will not read about it in US history textbooks. After Bangladesh gained its independence, Israel recognized Bangladesh as an independent country. However, Bangladesh officially rejected the recognition, stating that Bangladesh would not recognize Israel until there is an independent Palestine. I will never be quiet about the way my people resisted. History is repeating, and I deny and I refuse to be complicit in a genocide, in an ethnic cleansing. None of us are free until everyone is free. Today, I'm standing in front of you wearing my red sari, which symbolizes the red dot in Bangladeshi flag, to honor the 3 million Bangladeshis that were killed in the genocide, and the 40,000 female that were raped, including female freedom fighters. Along with my kufiya, I dedicate my red sari, which came all the way from my motherland, to my brothers and sisters killed in Palestine. I have not had the opportunity to meet the freedom fighters of Bangladesh. However, I had the pleasure to meet our students involved in the Palestinian movement. Please accept my salute and my kudos to all of you for your perseverance, commitment, contribution, resistance, and resiliency. You all are our freedom fighters, our fearless heroes. Your voice is so powerful that it is revolutionary. I would also like to extend my heartfelt gratitude and my utmost respect to the members of University of Oregon faculty and staff for Justice in Palestine. Thank you for amplifying our student voice. Thank you for being the glue that holds us together. And thank you for providing a safe space for our students, faculty, staff, and community members. The way you show up for our students with continuous love and support, balancing full-time jobs, family, health, and everything in between is truly, truly commendable. This commencement would not be possible without your hard work and contribution. So thank you, and I know our students deeply and greatly appreciate each one of you. The Palestinian cause is bigger than any identity, background, or faith. It is a human decency, it is our moral obligation to ignore, silently and comfortably, the most documented genocides in our lifetime. Every genocidal box has been marked, and every deadly record has been surpassed. So no, it is not complicated. It is not a war, not a conflict. It is a genocide. But I have hope. I have a heart full of hope to see a free Palestine in our lifetime, because you all, our dear students, our precious students, give us the hope. Because you all are our future. Remember, you can make a difference as one person, as an individual. It is my sincere request, it is my humble request to all of us to keep fighting for a free Palestine from the river to the sea.
Okay. Chamai, Hui Leilani Subzalian, Eugene, Oregon, Misu Shlianga. My name is Leilani Subzalian, and I'm also a proud member of the UO faculty and staff for Justice in Palestine. I'm so honored to be here today and share a few words with you. When I was asked to speak, I was a bit anxious at first because your actions as students have been so bold and so beautiful that I was worried I wouldn't be able to do your efforts justice. But then I realized that all I had to do was reflect back your collective courage and creativity and brilliance and resourcefulness, and so that is what I hope that you feel today. I am a scholar of Indigenous studies and education, but I'm a student of Native feminists. And Native feminists teach me that we don't need settler society and we don't need settler institutions to recognize us, that instead we must recognize one another. For those of you graduating, the university will recognize you and your accomplishment with a diploma. But this university does not truly recognize your brilliance. This university does not recognize your leadership and that you are modeling and teaching us how to be in right relation in this moment. But I want you to know that I recognize your power and the gifts that you have given us. I see you. And so do all of the faculty and staff here today who are honoring you. We see you. Anishinaabe scholar Leanne Simpson says that Anishinaabe people greet one another in her language by saying anin, which translates to I see your light, or I see your essence, or I see who you are. She writes, to me, seeing someone's essence or someone else's light is akin to working to see the energy they put into the universe through their interactions with their land, themselves, their family, and their community. Anin reminds us that the unique value Anin reminds us to see the unique value in another life as a practice. James Baldwin has called this work love, the lifelong work of mirroring and magnifying each other's light, which he says is gentle work and steadfast work. So we don't need the university's recognition because we can see and recognize one another. And so to me, that's the spirit of this People's Commencement. We can see each other's light. And so I just want to share a few things that I've seen with you in this moment and this movement. I see how you refuse to accept genocide as a norm, how you refuse to continue operating as our society and our school did, business as usual, as if entire universes weren't being destroyed. I see how you've held our leaders and institution accountable. I see the extensive research, the loving labor, and the public pedagogy you have undertaken to teach us all about the history and ongoing legacy of Israeli settler colonialism. I see how you refuse to treat Palestinians as a symbol or a metaphor for the need to end global oppression, and instead how you work tirelessly to center Palestinians and the specific need to end this current Nakba. But I also see how you've made connections across movements and remind us that our oppression and liberation are bound together. I see how you refuse sanitized framings of war and false equivalents and colonial binaries that position Jews and Palestinians against one another, and instead ground your organizing and activism in the sanctity of life and the struggle for collective liberation. I see the way your movement fosters community and creativity. I see how you create space for art, dance, music, prayer, communion, and joy, because movements need to be spaces that are nourishing and that feel good. I see you practicing the types of worlds that we all deserve. I see the way you've cared for one another and kept one another safe. I see how you honor one another's strengths and vulnerabilities. and have created a movement where each of us can show up how we can, the best we can, and still feel that our contributions matter. I see how you balance multiple roles and responsibilities, showing up for the movement, but also honoring your responsibilities as students and as parents and as relatives, and some of you as future teachers. To those of you in our teacher education program, I see how you have lent your full-hearted support to the encampment while also waking up each morning to show up for the elementary and middle school and high school students that you teach. And I see you embodying the power and potential of teaching as a form of justice and love. I also see that some of you have become sick in this process from grief and from exhaustion, and I hope that you care for yourselves because you are precious, and caring for others as a life practice also requires self-care. I also see how you're trying to work through conflict with one another in a way that honors differences and disagreements, but remembers that none of us are disposable. All communities have conflict, tensions, and compromises, and I encourage you to keep engaging in that intentional and relational work. Most of all, I see your tenacity, your determination, and your steadfastness. I hope that you all see and recognize one another. As Simpson reminds us, this is a vital part of relationality, to reflect back each other's essence and worth as human beings, to be a positive mirror for one another. So I hope in some small way today that I mirrored and magnified your light. I see you and I am grateful for what you've given to me, what you've given to this community, to Palestine, and to our collective future. And somehow you did this while still being students and getting your degrees. I know that our hearts ache in this moment because violence is ongoing, but this is also a powerful accomplishment to celebrate together, so please take a moment to see and celebrate one another. Congratulations, and free Palestine.
Hi, folks. My name's Kaylee. I'm a faculty member in the College of Education. I'm just here as a conduit for somebody who really wished that they could be here tonight and was wanting to speak, but unfortunately had to be out of town and also is ill. Some students may have heard of him. I don't know. Michael Fakhri? You guys heard of him? I knew you all would appreciate that. Dr. Fakhri in the Michael Fakhri in the School of Law, who has an event coming up, I think was promoted earlier today. Just reading a quick statement from him that he wanted to share with you as he wishes that he could be here with us. So, dear graduating students, you are leaving the University of Oregon better than how you found it. You created a sense of community on campus and solidarity with the Palestinians, which has forever changed all of us for the better. In my 13 years working here as a faculty member who is Arab, I have often felt invisible on this campus. But because of you, I have never felt happier or more inspired than when I was hanging out at the encampment and supporting you all. You should also be proud that you were part of creating the largest political force for the Palestinian people in the belly of the beast here in the U.S. For that, I know all Palestinians are incredibly grateful. It's important to remember the most challenging moments of your work on divestment and more recently during the encampment and protests. These will be moments you can reflect on and keep learning from for years to come. It is also important, don't want to butcher his words. It is also important to remember the friendships you made during this time. These will be relationships that will enrich you for years to come. Your friend, Michael Fakhri. Before Dr. Herrera comes up here, just a couple quick housekeeping items while I have the mic. Just want to acknowledge, as Dr. Herrera did, that we have 12 seats up here. Each of them, I hope you can come see. There's a little bit of educational material about each of the universities in Gaza that have been damaged or destroyed. You can learn a little bit more about how they were damaged and destroyed. And just a couple other really quick things. After the program, we have some refreshments over here. We do have some fruit that is reserved. Please reserve it for our friends who are vegan. We also have some gluten-free little mini cupcakes, or mini cheesecakes. Please save those for people who have those dietary restrictions. And we have a lot of cupcakes. Also, we have programs. If you don't have one, come find me. I'm pretty easy to spot, and I can get you a program. And because I have the mic, I just have to tell you all how proud I am of you and how proud I am of the movement that you've built and the movement that many of us will inherit. Many of you are leaving the university, but like Michael Fakhri said, you're leaving it better than you found it. So thank you.
Well, now I'm going to cry as soon as I got back up here. Okay. Thank you so much, Miriam, Cynthia, Leilani, and Kaylee. In hearing of our interconnected struggles, I'm reminded of Eve Tuck and Kay Wayne Yang's lesson that decolonization has no synonym. Palestinian liberation means land back for Palestinians, Calipuyans, and all indigenous peoples of Turtle Island and around the world. We'll now hear from 5 graduating students. Yeah. Fia, 4 now. 4. 1 is sadly sick. 4 students. Fia, David, Rocky, and Gabriella, followed by a musical number by student organizer Valentine Bentz. Yeah. Please join me in welcoming Fia.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I just want to acknowledge that this is traditionally when we would be celebrating our own accomplishments throughout the 4 years that we have been here. As under normal circumstances, graduations are a time to look back and to also look forward at the world that we are entering. However, these are not normal circumstances, and we are not generations of the past. In this year, we have had to fight the administration meant to represent us and have learned more about collective organizing than I think in the previous 3 years of our time at this university, or at least I have. But in this moment, when we are celebrating what we've done and what we plan to do more of, I think it is also important to acknowledge the year, the year lost by those in Gaza. Thank you. I'd like to use the majority of my time up here to play a speech by someone most of us know, hopefully by now. Her name is Tala. She lives in Gaza. She attended the Islamic University in Gaza before it was destroyed on October 10th. She was a student, or she is a student of Dr. Al-Arir, who was also martyred in December. And she has some words that she would like to share with us as a fellow senior who will, unlike us, be unable to walk. So I'd like to share those now. Should I plug it in? Okay. Sorry, just a second. We're going to do some technical stuff. Bluetooth, he said.
While there's a lull, somebody lost or left their College of Ed stole. I'm going to put it right here. It might be yours.
It wasn't done that.
I can take it to the College of Ed Lost and Found.
Okay, great. Okay, great. Yay!
Okay. Let's see.
I've been dreaming of this moment since my first year at university, to stand and deliver the graduation speech. It had been the motivation that made me do many achievements through my university journey, including being the top scorer among my colleagues. However, not everything a person wishes happens in real life. What happened is that I lost my university, my house, many family members, and I lost my literature father, Dr. Rifat Al-Arair, the person who believed in me and gave me every support to lighten up. I never forget when he gave me A+ on my research paper, I never forget the shine in his eyes whenever he read any of our writings. Yet, if all of these losses are the key to free my Palestine, then we are willing to pay even more to get this freedom. It's been more than 8 months, 244 days, more than half a year. Sometimes I stop and just think of how many achievements I would have done if we were already free. However, we still have hope in you, in your humanity, in your support, in your strength. Because we love life as much as we are forced to all types of death. Because we see that you are the change we've been fighting to have. We thank you, we love you, and we can't wait to see you in the free Palestine. Because from the river to the sea, please, I need you to complete it with me. From the river to the sea,
Palestine will be free.
I love you all, guys. Thank you. This is Tala from Gaza.
I'd like to say one more thing that Tala so eloquently highlighted, which is the impact that teachers can have on movements such as these. We know throughout history that these movements are led by students, and students historically are on the right side of social justice issues. However, we often don't remember the teachers that stood by our side throughout that and created the change in us to go out and change the world. So I'd like to thank the faculty and teachers that have supported us. As Tala also mentions, you guys mean the world and make all the difference. So thank you guys.
Can y'all hear me all right? My name is David Lefebvre. I'm a graduating senior in the physics department, as well as a longtime research assistant worker on campus. As an activist over the 4 years, I'm proud to have been a member and leader in our U.S. Student Workers Union, a leader in the Young Democratic Socialists of America, and a participant in our Peoples Popular University for Palestine. Our popular university embodied all the educational aspirations that the University of Oregon itself has failed to live up to. The UO statement of purpose says that we strive for excellence in teaching, research, artistic expression, in the generation, dissemination, preservation, and application of knowledge. We're devoted to educating the whole person and to fostering the next generation of transformational leaders and informed participants in the global community. Through these pursuits, we enhance the social, cultural, physical, and economic well-being of our students, Oregon, the nation, and the world. Well, while the UO admin has ignored the destruction of every single university in Gaza, it is us. We are the ones who have cared to preserve the knowledge of Palestinian scholars by forcing them to create scholarships for 5 displaced Palestinian students and hire 2 professors who are experts on Palestine. We've been dedicated to not only learning about, but having the courage to speak out against genocide. We are the class bold enough to prioritize the principles we have learned over some paper diploma. Our struggles echo Howard Zinn's saying that you cannot be neutral on a moving train. Our civil disobedience places us on the side of history, following the tracks of students struggling against war and apartheid and for civil rights and human dignity. I often think about the chant, in our thousands, in our millions, we are all Palestinian. I remember when I first heard it, I was a bit like taken aback. I'm not Palestinian. I'm living in Eugene, Oregon. Like, what do I have to do with the struggle of the Palestinian people against colonialism? But it's not really about that. It's not about me. It's not about any individual. In fact, it's about masses of working people in America and around the world who are motivated to struggle for a free Palestine, not only by the daily horrors that we witness on social media, but because we see ourselves and our struggle is akin to that of the Palestinians. Because it's the people who enable the murder of the Palestinians and the plunder of their land and resources who are the same people that are militarizing our cities and our campuses. They're the same people who are privatizing our university, who are driving up the cost of tuition and aren't even paying their student workers fairly. So it's clear that our liberation is interconnected, but it is not easily won, as many of us have seen. Myself and others have risked arrest, suspension, jobs, housing, health, and more to win only parts of our original demands. And while we didn't have enough power to win more through our encampment, we've come through this year we've exited this year so much stronger than how we've come in. If we want to win our demands of BDS, every single one of us has to promise that we're going to continue to be part of this movement going into next year and the year after that, and just keep on going until we see a free Palestine in our lifetimes. With this promise made, our graduating class will leave Eugene like seeds in the wind that will germinate through the world and spread the blossoming student intifada. Congratulations to the graduating class of 2024 from the Peoples Popular University, or Gaza. Thank you.
Hey guys, I'm Rocky. I feel like I've probably seen most of you had a conversation, probably at least once recently. Thank you all for being here. Honestly, it's really just hitting me right now that I'm actually graduating. For me personally, it feels like the clock stopped the moment those tents went up. And it's weird that it's like, suddenly we're in the last week of classes and time has worked differently since the encampment. I feel like we can all agree to that, the days have just been different. And I'm kind of reckoning up with this question of, what comes next, especially because, I'm leaving Eugene, and that's, it's bittersweet at the very least. When we go out into the world, we have to take up space. We have to do the difficult thing and choose to create change. Because if we don't, then who will? It is up to us to carry the flame, to be the hope, and to build the future. If we do nothing, then we sacrifice our humanity. Look around you. This is what we're fighting for. We are here because we are the hope of every person whose heart beats for change and for Palestine. I keep coming back to this question, right, where I feel like I'm standing up here, and it's like, why am I here? Every single one of you, I'm sure, has exactly as much to say as I do. So my request to all of you, especially those of you who are staying in Eugene, is just to say yes to things. I feel like the number one reason I am up here right now is because I just said yes to things. Because that's really what it takes to be a leader. You just have to be willing to do something a little bit harder than you would expect. And maybe there's a bit more that comes with that. Maybe I'm not giving myself credit. But I feel like we all have so much potential, And it's like, especially coming as a queer Jewish person of color, as a person who has to work, I've always been so anxious about taking up space. And it's hard to go and fight that anxiety, but we have to overcome any personal idea we have of that fear of taking up space if we're going to change the systems that create those anxieties. So, anyway, I definitely just freeballed on my speech that I wrote, but it's okay. I think this might be the last time that I'm speaking to you all like this. So, thanks for listening to me now and always, and free Palestine. I think it's Gabriella.
Hello. Graduates, faculty, staff, fellow organizers, good evening. It is an honor to be able to speak to you all as we celebrate this momentous occasion. I would like to extend my sincerest thank you to the FSJP, Kaylee, and student organizers such as Maya for organizing this beautiful commencement ceremony. Thank you. And thank you to all those who put in tireless effort for this movement and to make this convention happen. I'm grateful for all of your work. My name is Gabriela Moreno. I lead the Jewish Voice for Peace chapter here. I am graduating with a degree in planning, public policy, and management, and a minor in ethnic studies. And I honestly feel that this commencement is a much more apt celebration of much of the work I have done throughout my time here than the university ceremony. This movement is the purest embodiment of the lessons I have learned throughout my academic career. It is the application of every ethnic studies class I ever took. Yeah. We are working to change public policy. That is literally my major. And this university is somehow surprised that we're actually listening in our classes. We're taking those lessons and we're applying them in our fight for Palestinian liberation. Every student in this movement is applying their knowledge in a pure and just form. Our education is equipping us with the skills to move this fight forward, to achieve our goals, and to do our part in ending all systems of oppression. To practice tikkun olam, to repair the world. It is a blessing to be able to celebrate our education and academic career on our own terms and properly honor the work that truly matters, the work towards liberation. Some of my favorite memories from my years here at the University of Oregon are shared with all of you. The moments of joy we found and created in between moments of despair, constantly being bombarded with images of a genocide that we are complicit in. We found those moments. Solidarity dinners, interfaith celebrations, art builds, karaoke. Any time that we were able to celebrate Palestinian culture and identity with moments of joy, because that joy is our resistance and our resilience. Who would have thought that spending 70 plus hours a week with people, also risking suspension, arrest, among other things, would make you really close to them? Yeah. I'm incredibly grateful to finish my college career surrounded by those who share these memories. It is not lost on me that we are celebrating our graduation while every university in Gaza has been destroyed, while a scholasticide is being carried out in Palestine, and while our peers are displaced and killed. The grim truth must never be forgotten or ignored, and we hold it in this moment. We hold space for Palestine, for our peers. We hold space for the destroyed universities and scholars and the poets of Palestine. We bring with us their legacies and teachings. We bring the lessons of Palestine and the amazing revolutionaries that we honor. We must use our privilege, our education, and our voices to stand in solidarity with our peers in Palestine, our peers in Congo and Sudan, and our peers across the world, united in the fight for collective liberation. When RSVPing for this commencement, I had to come up with a favorite quote. I wanted something that encompassed my view of the world, a quote that encompasses how I want to live my life and conduct my activism. I looked to activists and movements of the past that inspired me in search of a quote and that I felt represented why I'm in this movement. Landed on something from Huey P. Newton, a revolutionary and one of the founders of the Black Panther Party. He was a really cool dude. He said, "I think what motivates people is not great hate, but great love for other people." Similar sentiments have been shared globally. Mahmoud Darwish, a Palestinian poet, said, "We are captives of what we love and what we desire and what we are." This is a sentiment echoed around the world throughout this interconnected struggle for collective liberation. We are united in our work out of a love for liberation, our love of justice, and our love for others. We love those we do not know because we love humanity, the land, and we love equality. We fight not out of spite, we fight not out of anger or resentment, but out of hope. We can see a free Palestine. We can envision a just world. We fight day in and day out because of our love for action and progress. I love the people of the world. I love the people of Palestine and all those united in this struggle. Congratulations to all graduates for years of work and dedication. We are united in this fight. Use what you have learned in your academic career to change the very systems we learn about in class, the systems that work to oppress us and divide us. Thank you all. Free Palestine from the river to the sea. And congratulations to all our graduates. I love you all.
Pia Dornberg, Bachelor of Science. Sarah Humiko Lam, a Master's in Japanese Studies, Nuclear Humanities, Gender and Queer Studies. Audrey Schlemmer, Bachelor of Arts. Also, areas of study include political science, philosophy with a minor in ethics. That's appropriate. Katya Turner, Bachelor of Arts. Also archaeology and Russian. Michaela Mesko, Bachelor of Arts in Cinema Studies. Abigail Wren, Bachelor of Arts, Planning, Public Policy and Management, minors in Environmental and Legal Studies. Rocky Flora Stern, Bachelor of Science, Philosophy and Environmental Studies. Gabriela Moreno, Bachelor of Arts, Planning, Public Policy and Management, the minor in Ethnic Studies. Katie Fendick, Bachelor of Arts, Archaeology, and Spanish and Latin American Studies. Madison Smith, Bachelor of Arts, Global Studies, Women and Gender and Sexuality Studies, Middle East and North African Studies. Kate Elena, Bachelor of Science, Mathematics and Computer Science. Talia Jane Cordova, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Arts, Family and Human Services, Philosophy. Zero Mercy, Bachelor of Arts, Philosophy, Cinema Studies, Scandinavian Studies. Avu Minusuper, Bachelor of Arts, Cultural Anthropology, Pre-Medicine. Emma Marie Howard, Bachelor of Arts, Women, Gender and Sexuality Studies, Disability Studies, and Political Science. David Miller, Master's in Journalism. Siggy LaFell, Bachelor of Science, major in Sociology, minor in Women and Gender Studies. Ian Finn, Master's in Economics. Kate Smith, Bachelor of Science, major in Cinema Studies, minors in Business Administration. Jorge Barraza, Bachelor of Science, Psychology and Neuroscience. Leah Dunbar, Principal Licensure, Education Leadership. Neda Chongwi, Bachelor of Science, Sociology and Food Studies. Shireen Springer, PhD. Summer Davis, Bachelor of Arts, Sociology. Carolyn Rodriguez, Bachelor of Arts, Journalism and Political Science. David Lefebvre, Bachelor of Science, Physics.
Angela Noah, Bachelor of Arts, Native American and Indigenous Studies. Ethnic and non-profit organization.
Kendall McCone, Bachelor of Science, Economics.
Jade Rivera, Bachelor of Science in Environmental Studies, minors in Native American Studies. And
Spencer
Indigenous
Barton,
Landscape Architecture.
Bachelor of Science, History and Global Studies.
Elizabeth White, Master's Elementary. Sydney LaFelt, Bachelor of Science, major in Sociology, minor in Women and Gender Studies. Kate Smith, Bachelor of Science, major in Cinema Studies, minors in Business Administration and Theater Arts. Leah Dunbar, Principal, Licensure, Education Leadership. Shireen Springer, PhD, Critical and Sociocultural Studies and Education. Rochelle Weiser Nieto, PhD, Critical Sociocultural Studies and Education and Indigenous Race and Ethnic Studies. Angela Noah, Bachelor of Arts, Native American and Indigenous Studies, Ethnic and Nonprofit Organization. Jade Rivera, Bachelor of Science in Environmental Studies, minors in Native American Studies and Indigenous Landscape Architecture. Elizabeth White, Master's Elementary Education. Hannah St. Clair, Master's Elementary Education. Kyle Trefny, Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science, Economics and Chinese. Lauren Amisa McNamara, degree, Bachelor of Arts in Marine Biology. A.D. Grass, Bachelor of Science, General Science. Congratulations, Free Gaza University Class of 2024.
Okay, thank you, Professor Lowndes, for reading the beautiful names of our beautiful graduates. Thank you all so much for joining us to celebrate our graduates and honorary Popular University for Palestine degree recipients and the community and movement that has been built due to the leadership, bravery, and commitment of our students. While the encampment and this school year have both ended, the movement for Palestinian liberation, as well as to demand that the University of Oregon disclose and divest from the companies that are complicit in or profit from Israeli apartheid and genocide of the Palestinian people. As graduates receive their diplomas and stoles, we will conclude this evening with the words of Dr. Rafat El-Arir, the Palestinian writer, poet, professor, including Atala, who we heard from before, an activist from the Gaza Strip, who was killed by a targeted IOF's airstrike on December 6th, 2023, who our University of Oregon's renamed Johnson Hall after.
We have a little gift for you.
If I Must Die,
We,
by
the
Rafat
University of
El-Arir.
Oregon Faculty and Staff for Justice and Palestine, would like
If
to
I must die, you must live to tell my story,
honorary degree in human
to sell my things, to buy a piece of cloth and some strings, make it white with a long tail, so that a child somewhere in Gaza, while looking heaven in the eye, awaiting his dad who left in a blaze, and bid no one farewell, not even to his flesh, not even to himself. Sees the kite, my kite you made, flying up above, and thinks for a moment an angel is there, bringing back love. If I must die, let it bring hope. Let it be a story. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight and for your support of our students in this movement. Say it with me. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Thank you and congratulations.